from Roadkill Reviews. Today, we are going to talk about our favorite films to watch during the Halloween season. Just our favorite movies to get us into the Halloween spirit. You know, they don't have to be movies that take place during Halloween per se, you know, as long as they're horror films that we really like. So,
sure, I'll go first.
Okay.
I don't know which one to pick, really, because I mean, not the first one.
So you got the Friday the 13th.
I got the Friday 13th set on Blu-ray, 8 movies. The ones that matter. These movies are fun, always fun to watch. The acting's really cheesy in it, but the characters are always like really colorful and silly, and it's always amusing watching them get chopped up or brutally murdered by Jason Moore. He loves his mama, you know?
Yeah.
It's a valuable lesson to learn from these movies, you know?
And what is that, Craig?
You in the woods, you die in the woods.
As simple as that.
Yeah.
There you go. Is there one that you say is your favorite, or one that you like the most?
That stands out the most?
I always really liked, is it 6 when he comes back from the dead?
Yes. Where he gets struck by lightning?
Yeah, that's Jason Begins.
Or New Beginning?
The New Beginning, yeah.
Right, yeah.
No, New Beginning, Jason Lives.
Jason Lives.
Jason Lives, I'd have to say, is my favorite, because that's when he's just this unstoppable force.
It's like Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He gets struck by lightning and comes back to life.
Yeah, and you thought he was unstoppable before, like...
Yeah.
I remember part 4 released, 3 and 4. 3 was the first one where he wore the hockey mask.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And 4 has got Corey Feldman, little Corey Feldman, and Crispin Glover.
Crispin Glover. I might have to change my answer.
Yeah.
That one.
That one was great. He was really entertaining in that.
Crispin Glover's great in that.
He's a madman.
Yeah.
He's a madman.
His dance moves.
His dance moves are awesome.
Yeah.
Good. Ted, where's the corkscrew? Is it Ted? Yeah, it's Ted.
Yeah.
Where's the corkscrew?
Ted! Hey, Ted, where the hell's the corkscrew?
Ted's just watching porn like a weirdo.
Like old
projector porn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you know what? I agree. I'd have to say that's
Final chapter?
The final chapter, right.
Do you have a favorite kill in the Friday movies? Because the one I'm thinking of is from, I want to say part 3, where there's a guy that does handstands. He stands on his hands, he walks on his hands, and Jason comes up behind him and he looks upside down, and then Jason cuts him in half, and he falls apart, and then Jason folds him up and puts him up in a bunk bed. And
that was part 3.
Part 3?
They had the 3D going.
Yeah.
They wanted you to have the 3D thing of him coming down. And
I always like when he takes a girl in a sleeping bag and smashes her up against a tree. That's always amusing. Or was it a dude or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not sexist. Smash anybody up against a tree in a sleeping bag. One of the funniest was in Manhattan when he punches Buddy's head off on the top of the building.
Fatality.
I'm going to be the kid between you two, and I'm going to go for a children's classic, The Halloween Tree. It's an animated film, came out in like the 90s. It's based off of a short story by Ray Bradbury, who was a famous writer. It's about these kids, these four or five friends on Halloween. Every Halloween they get together, they go trick-or-treating, they do all the fun stuff on Halloween, and one of their friends dies. He gets really sick and he dies on Halloween night. And then they think that they see him and they chase him to this decrepit old mansion that is where this really creepy old Nosferatu looking guy lives. And he has this tree outside, and on the tree are pumpkins that are growing, and on each pumpkin has a face of a real person. And this creepy Nosferatu looking guy is actually kind of like, I guess you could say he's like the Grim Reaper, and each pumpkin represents a soul. And this young boy, I think his name's Pip, has come to him, made a deal with him, and Mr. Moundshroud, that's his name, Mr. Moundshroud wants to collect his soul. And all of his friends who, you know, don't want to see their friend die, don't want to see their friend go, try to make a deal with him and say, look, you know, you can't, he's our friend, you can't take him.
Yeah.
You know, he's just a kid. And he's like, so they go on this adventure through time, and they go to different cultures during different time periods. Ancient Egypt, France in the Middle Ages, Mexico, and of course, like, you know, the United States, and they learn about Halloween in different cultures. They learn about the origins of Halloween, you know, to do with, you know, Samhain and witches and so forth and religion. So it's kind of cheesy because it's like a educational in a way. Anyway, long story short, they make a deal with Moundshroud. Pip gets they revive him, he gets his soul back, and then it's a happy ending. But yeah, I remember when I used to watch this as a kid all the time. I used to rent it on VHS in my local video store, even when it wasn't Halloween. And I remember like loving it, like thinking it was just like an awesome story, and you know, like any kid would with any cartoon movie. And I don't know, it always used to get to me too. It always used to make me kind of sad because it's about this kid who dies. And for the longest time, it wasn't available on DVD.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the longest time. It was only available on VHS. And out of nowhere, I found this copy at Walmart like 2 years ago. I wasn't even looking for it. I just went to Walmart, and there it was for like, I don't know, $10. And I was like, well, sold.
Yeah.
They don't make kids movies like they did when we were like today, like they did when we were growing up. We had dark humor in our cartoons and stuff. Not dark humor, but like just dark, like more meaning to it.
Dark themes.
Like we were able to handle that stuff, and now everyone's so concerned about how kids will handle things today. So everything's so
Well, and that goes back to like fairy tales. Like grim fairy tales were invented for a reason, which was to prepare children for how life was going to be. And Leonard Nimoy plays the voice of Moundshroud.
Oh, okay.
And he does like this raspy voice.
A Halloween tree!
I can't just pick any horror movie. For me, it's got to be something that takes place during Halloween. But yeah, Halloween tree.
Is he worth it, this friend of yours?
More than you'll ever know.
One boy's love.
Take one of mine, too. And mine. I'm in. Four for one makes good business, doesn't it?
Yes, I like it.
The grand finale.
Yeah. The original cliche, I should say.
The classic, the one that started it all.
The one that started it all. Yeah, I love pulling this out every year, and it's my go-to. Start everything off, and just the way they filmed it, captured everything, but even the music.
Mm-hmm. That classic theme.
Yeah.
Classic song.
And then, you end the first one off with, like, was that the boogeyman? And as a matter of fact, so...
And he's not there, his body's gone.
Yeah, so he's the original boogeyman.
He's the original boogeyman.
Yeah. And then for this one to lead off into the second one, with it being in the same night, was really cool. Mm-hmm. And I kind of like with Halloween 3, they did try to kind of...
do something different?
Yeah, because their plan was every year to have a different story. But then they went back to return Michael Myers.
And, like, that's the original slasher right there.
Yeah.
Because the guy, like, when they came to this guy to write Jason, they're like, give us another Halloween.
Yeah.
Basically.
Like, let's rip off
that's
Halloween.
Exactly what they told them.
Yeah, they say that right in that set there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the grandfather. And...
Yeah, because this is 78.
Yeah.
And 40 years this year.
Mm-hmm.
40th anniversary.
Yeah.
So really appropriate for that to be the go-to.
And like in comparison, like these movies are fun, but in comparison, that's done like a proper movie.
Yeah,
like
proper
horror film,
classic horror film.
Yeah, because there's like
there's no silliness to it.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Like when you're watching these, you're hardly ever laughing.
Yeah,
like,
no, yeah.
And they've never, except for the one where they're all in the house there, the haunted house. I feel like they never tried to add a comedy element to it. But the one with Busta Rhymes. Like,
yeah.
Trick or treat, mother.
I don't really pull that one out.
Yeah,
very
like
much.
that one. That one is like they go all out and they try to be silly with it.
Yeah.
It's just a piece of.
I think the funny part in this was when Dr. Loomis scares the kids from going into the Myers house, and he's just like, "Hey, Lottie, get your ass away from there."
He's great.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Get your ass away from there.
But I love
He's
how
always
he's
so
like,
fired up.
Yeah.
Like, running around with his trench coat.
and he's got his like revolver. Yeah, I shot him 6 times. He isn't human, man.
Which one is where they accidentally shoot the kid, or the kid gets run over by a
That's
car?
part two.
That's
Yeah.
so poor
Oh,
bastard.
I felt bad for that.
And that was all his. That was all him.
Yeah, he scared the kid into the street. The kid was like trying to get away because he's got a freaking gun flashing around.
And instead of
like,
staying there and dealing with it, he's fucking off. And
yeah,
runs away.
they all get in the cop car and take off and leave the cop who's got probably a concussion from slamming into him and exploding.
His corpse is burning.
Yeah, and he's just
And the one cop's like, "Is that him? I can't tell.
yeah.
I don't know."
Like you got like some poor kid just on
They
fire.
put him out.
Where was that kid going around? Where did he find the exact same mask and the friggin' jumpsuit and thought that was a great combination?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
it's just chance, man.
Somehow this
Freak
works,
chance.
man.
Yeah, man, freak
He's like,
out.
oh, this guy wore the same.
You know what? He's the best part of all the ones that he's in.
Yeah.
He's the best part.
Yeah.
Because like, first of all, Donald Pleasance, I love how, and I've seen him in a lot of movies. He takes his roles so seriously.
Oh yeah, he's a great actor.
You know, he wouldn't just do it for like a paycheck. He really like
got into the part.
In the Halloween movies, the way he talks about Michael Myers and how it's like he's a thing, and
Yeah.
and how he's always warning people like, you know, these families on Halloween night might be lined up for a slaughter fest.
Yeah.
The way he talks about Michael Myers, it kind of reminds me of how like someone would talk about Rambo,
Right.
or Commando in the action movie,
Yeah.
where it's like, there's a hurricane coming into this town, and when there's a hurricane, you bolt your doors, get your families inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This John Rambo is a
Like
one man.
glorifying him.
Yeah.
Like he's.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They glorify him.
Strong presence.
And I love
freaking
how
evil.
he's just like, he's so like nuts.
I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight. You don't know what death is.
I love a moment in part 2 where he's riding in the back of the cop car, Loomis, and he's got the gun and he threatens the cop.
What does you fellas usually do? Fire a warning shot, right?
Do you remember when you first saw?
Yeah, I remember being in the basement with Dad, and we were watching TV, and then he's like, "Oh, Halloween's coming on. Oh, you're in for a treat now. This one's gonna like be prepared not to sleep." And it was on a station called the VR network.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they were playing it on this. So obviously, like it was a TV version, but I mean that was enough to keep me from sleeping for at least a month, thinking that he was gonna come through the door.
I remember part 3. When I was a kid, I thought part 3 was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. When I was a kid, I grew like as I grew. It's a funny ass movie. It's a fun movie.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like
But
part
it's
3 not having
has
anything
nothing
to do with the
with
boogeyman.
anything.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it gets a bad rap, and it's also kind of not fair because they call it Halloween 3.
Yeah.
If they had called it something else, I think the movie might have done
Oh yeah,
different.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think people would have liked it because there's people out there that do like it
Yeah.
and consider it like a cult
Called
classic.
it like
and-
Shamrock, whatever.
Silver Shamrock.
Silver
Yeah.
Shamrock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch.
Sure.
Yeah.
So like
To carry the number.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like Halloween. I remember the same thing. I hated Halloween 3. I'm like, Halloween, that was so stupid. But it's growing on me.
Yeah.
Because the story is awesome, and like the fact that it's this crazy old guy who has this ancient druid,
Yeah.
whatever
Stone.
thing, that he has these masks that, you know, with this old power makes the masks kill the children that are wearing it.
Like you got any honorable mentions? Well, you know, you got Ernest Scared Stupid. If
Yeah.
you want to get silly.
That's true. Yeah, that troll. Right?
The
Oh
trolls.
man, that thing. I thought that was gonna come get me.
Yeah, that movie scared me.
Yeah,
Scared
especially
the hell out of
the
me.
girl was in her bed and she like wakes
she
up
turns
and he's
over,
right there.
he's lying in the
I
bed
thought
with
I
her.
was gonna wake up to that too.
Oh my god.
That was a good scare movie.
That was.
Yeah.
Kill it with milk or something like that.
Yeah,
That's what they put it in squirt guns. Can't handle the milk.
Milk and love. Because it was like a mother's love or something like that, and like the troll, he turned the kids into like little wooden dolls, and he put them in the tree, and the tree would sprout out these eggs, which were other trolls, and
Yeah.
that's actually pretty decent film.
Yeah.
Like never mind that Ernest is in it.
No, like he even has a hard time like trying to
you take Ernest,
stop it.
You take Ernest out of it, it's actually a decent flick.
Save the kids! Trolls!
Another one takes place in Halloween. Again, kids film. Monster House.
Oh yeah, that's a great flick.
Yeah, it takes place on Halloween night. You know, have you seen Monster House?
No, I haven't.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's not that old.
No, it's like 10 years. 10,
oh yeah,
2006,
Monster House,
7, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's about this haunted house next door. Oh, there's this. Everyone knows this house, you know, on this neighborhood. And there's this crazy old guy. And, you know, he doesn't like kids. He doesn't like kids on his lawn. And everyone knows him. And they've lost their toys and shit.
Yeah.
And then he dies. Mm-hmm. He has a heart attack. And then all of a sudden the house, his soul goes into the house. And the house comes alive. And it's like and it gobbles up people and stuff like that. And
check that out.
These kids across these kids across the street spy on the house and trying to stop it and stuff like that.
Trick or Treat.
Oh, Trick or Treat's one,
to whip out. It's kind of like a merged anthology, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the stories tie in, which I love. I love like how you see like, you know, a foreshadowing of a character, but you don't know what's happening to them yet until you get to that point. Mm-hmm. So that's a fun one.
That kind of now that idea of anthologies kind of messes with my thing, because a good anthology on Halloween's always the best.
Yeah.
But another fun one would be latest one that we just found, Space Invaders.
Oh yeah, Space Invaders.
Takes place on Halloween.
Yeah.
That could get you in the mood for the season.
Yeah. Hocus Pocus.
I was gonna say Hocus Pocus. Yeah. I love that. I have to see that again because as a kid I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome, and I remember it took place on Halloween. It was very heavy with the Halloween. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see it now though, because I haven't seen it in years. I want to know if it still holds up. I think they just released the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So many to name, so many to watch.
Yeah.
So many good ones. You know, they don't necessarily have to take place on Halloween, as long as they're horror films. That's our favorites. You know, tell us what yours are. Leave a comment.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Drop a title.
Yeah, drop a title. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Subscribe.
Like and subscribe, and follow our Instagrams.
All the Instagrams.
And Jermaine's.
Like us on Facebook. Yeah, well, happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
And we will see you guys next Halloween.
Or next episode.
Yeah, I know.
Where's that corkscrew, that fancy corkscrew for the wine bottle? Ted?